5th, 2013 to order at 7:03 p.m. Everyone please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call roll, please.
Stirrett.
Present.
Audie. Here. Clark.
Here.
Cooper. Here. Conan. Ballard.
Here.
Bullock.
Here.
Everyone has the agenda in front of them tonight. Is there anything anyone would like to add or pull, or is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, also move that the agenda be accepted as presented.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Any citizen comment on non-agenda items? Any citizen comment? Hearing none, we have no presentations tonight. We are under administrative reports. We have the F&B report. Mr. Stewart, would you like to give a...
Yes, everybody received the packet or the nice summary of what's happened this last month. Flows are normal, nothing out of the ordinary. This was October. There were no call-outs for October. We did the normal stuff. But we did have a problem, as so did other people in the community. Sunday around between 9 and 11, the power outage happened with the high winds. Power remained out. They called it in immediately. The sewer plant is a phase 3 electrical, 3-phase. Sorry, we can ask our electrician here. And it stayed out until Thursday about 12:30. They did run the generator. The generator did not fail. It powered the plant for 4 or 5 days, however many days it is. They did operate the plant overnight. Somebody was there. I know Chuck was when they switched, because Brian was on vacation. He got called in because Chuck needed some support. I'm not sure if Brian stayed all night, but I'm pretty sure he had at least come in several times to make sure the plant was operating fine. There were no problems experienced with the generator, so it was good that we were able to operate in the backup mode for such a long period of time. Dennis Ryan did do a spot visit, just so happened to be on Tuesday while the power was out, so he was also able to see that the backup generator did have enough power to supply the plant. I do believe Larry's Automotive Service was also down. There was about 30 facilities that were down. They were on partial power because of phase 1 and 2 were still working, but the third phase was out, and it had to do with the pine tree down just south of town, about 4 houses outside of past the creek. And Captain came out, cut the tree down, and then the power was restored pretty quickly. So that was the excitement there, was the wind, and it was some high wind, but they kept everything running just fine.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Stewart? Hearing none, any other administrative reports at this time? Any other?
Andy and Giffords is continuing to work on the S2 grant information, but I still don't have it yet. It takes a little while to put numbers to the recommendations, so Andy did mention off the record would be a little bit longer yet. They had some people, he explained it to me last meeting, there's another grant that's out there, so the deadline was October 31st, or
December 2nd.
Oh, December 2nd, so they're working on those, trying to get other people money, because ours isn't, we're not in a time constraint. I think we have a whole nother year or something to finish our project, that's what they're working on, so he's still working on it.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Stewart on that? Hearing none. Any other administrative reports at this time? Hearing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Everyone has it. It's the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of November 11th, 2013, and the payment of bills.
We're going to pull the minutes to be approved at the next meeting for verification.
Is anything anyone else would like to pull? Or is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, also move the consent agenda be accepted as amended.
Motion by Mr. Ballard. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Under new business, special event permit application for Armada Board and Bike Weekend Warrior Marathon. Are there any public comments? This will be your turn to talk.
Yes. Good evening, President Cooper and council members. My name is Thomas Gray, and I reside at 3138 Farmdale, Sterling Heights, Michigan. Again, as I mentioned, Jeff Bohorski lives down the street from me, so in the spirit of full disclosure. I am the former chairman and race director for the Macomb Health and Fitness Foundation, and for the past 3 years I've served as their race director and chairman. We sponsored the largest ever running events that Macomb County's ever had. So we brought in approximately 2,700 runners per year. They would come in from 16 states, 4 countries, 3 continents to run the streets of Mount Clemens, Harrison Township, and Clinton Township for the Let's Move Festival of Races. So, we believe we perfected a pretty good strategy of how to bring people in to enjoy this type of exercise in the community. One of the things I'd like to do here this evening is to ask you for your support and for your vote to allow the Armada Board and Bike to sponsor the Weekend Warrior Marathon. With me here is Pat Ross, Secretary from Armada Board and Bike. There are certain streets that we would like to use. The one street in particular, we have Armada Center Road, crossing at Fulton Street through the Macomb Orchard Trail, and also Omo Road. The times that we would need this, we'd be starting the runners in front of Armada High School and bringing them back to that location. So those roads would be basically tied up from 6 a.m. till 4 p.m. But as soon as the last runner passes, we are immediately following behind with our crew, and we're opening those roads, is typically how we do this. We contract with State Barricade Company. They'll put out 42-inch grabber cones, and they'll remove those as soon as the last walker, it's not a runner, there's always a group that will walk this distance. So we follow behind them, not pushing up on them too aggressively, but efficient enough that we can open the roads quickly. And typically we usually have a quad runner with a sheriff reserve officer following behind, signaling that this is the end of the race. We've also worked with various members of law enforcement, including Chief Smith, the Macomb County Sheriff, and the Michigan State Police through a package of mutual aid to make sure that all the intersections would be covered and that the runners would be safe. And runners do have the right of way during this particular race. The race will be certified and sanctioned by USA Track and Field. It will also be Macomb County's first ever full marathon, so it's quite a significant event. People will come here to qualify for the Boston Marathon.
So when you were saying at Center Road, they're going to cross Fulton, so you're going to be closing Fulton from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m.? Or do you wait till the first runner gets there to close it?
Usually ahead of that first runner, because what's happening is we have several different distances. So the first runner will be crossing Fulton coming off of a 10K course that comes off of True Road. So they're going to get there pretty quick, within probably 30 minutes of the start of the race.
When is the start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock is the start?
Yes, it's quite a interesting race. It's never been done before, to my knowledge, with this many courses with one single start. But we actually have a total of 7 different races. 5 of these share the majority of the same roads, which is Armada Center. They turn off at different points to make your way back to the Macomb Orchard Trail. So it's a very efficient course once we put it all together.
And how's the signage going to be up to direct people, or are there going to be people directing where people turn off?
There will be signs and people. We usually use feather banners that stand up nice and tall, and we have volunteers that will be there as well, and you'll see law enforcement also. So it'll be hard to miss that it's your turn to turn on True Street if you're running the 10K, or if you're a 10-miler, you'll go a little bit further. I'm sorry, True Street's a 12K. And if you're going to run the 10-mile, you're turning off at Coon Creek. The half marathon runners will turn off directly at Macomb Orchard Trail. 25K runners turn off on Gilmore, and the full marathon runners make it all the way to 29 Mile and return back on Indian Trail and Walcott to the Macomb Orchard Trail.
Do you have a map for us to?
It's in the stuff they gave me. I
Okay.
did make a copy because it's very thick, so.
The map of.
Well, the whole packet that they gave me, what I gave you guys was just the.
So everyone is starting at 8 a.m., right?
8 a.m. for 5 races. Then we have the 5K run, which starts at 8:10.
Okay.
And then there's a children's race that we're gonna probably start that at 10:30. Being a father of three, you know, you don't wanna get the kids up too early, they won't have any fun, so.
Right.
If we can get them up at, you know, and on the race course about 10:30, that's a pretty good time that they can finish and still have fun. And we know that the economic impact of bringing people into the community is quite significant. Just in Mount Clemens alone, with a half marathon and a 5K, 2,700 runners, it's $1.3 million economic impact estimated in a 6-hour stretch. So it's a pretty good shot in the arm for local businesses. Great way to promote anything else that you have coming up. This is a spring race, so if you have a calendar of events and you want to get that word out there, like the Armada Fair, for example, it's a good way to also cross-promote other events.
So you're gonna go down Center Road, and you're gonna deviate from Center down True Coon Creek, and you're gonna hit the trail, and then you're gonna come back up on the trail and cross Fulton.
Yes, they cross, that's right, they're on the
Right.
trail, they cross
Is
Fulton.
that how it ends?
No, they make it to Omo.
Okay,
Yep, Omo is the return route back to Armada Center Road, back to the school.
okay, so really the only village road that's affected, because Center isn't our road, that's the township's.
Right, but you're stopping
Huh.
traffic within a.
Half of our road is such, so.
Yeah.
It's a border road.
It's a border road.
So basically, everyone living in the village will not be able to get out of the village from the hours of 8 to 4.
North and south.
As I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand it, we're gonna be losing North Avenue and Armada Center as these runs start.
Correct.
Once they're past Fulton, once they're past North Avenue,
Which probably around 11 a.m. if the kids start at 10, right?
Yeah, well, the kids' race won't be in that area, but the last runner coming across Fulton will be 6 hours from the starting point, so it's 2 p.m.
Okay.
Now, runners have the right of way, but cars can cross. We
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, we don't box cars in. We
Okay.
don't box in any residents. We only take one lane where necessary, and then we try to share the road. In certain areas on Armada Center, you do have some residential homes there. There's not a lot, but there's about 6. So what you'll see on Armada Center is the south lane, south side lane. That will be for the runners. The north side will be for any of the local residents, and we'll try to close that for through traffic. Right between the elementary school and the high school will be the epicenter of everything that's happening. We have Monster Energy coming out to perform a BMX bicycle show. They've got world-class athletes that are going to be there. UAW Ford is going to be putting on a SUV show at the finish line. So the finish line is a very active, vibrant place, and people will be coming back and forth across the road. So between the 2 driveways of the high school, that will be closed. Just emergency vehicles only.
Okay.
so I think we're gonna lose Center. And as far as Fulton down at Depot where they're crossing on the trail, then that is going to have to be policed and coordinated so that we're stopping traffic for the runners to get across.
Is that our police doing all
Yes.
this?
Well, our police would be doing the stuff in our community. We'd be shutting down the Armada Center, Spencer, Burke, Fulton. I've talked to MSP. MSP is supposed to be sending when they do the 5K leaves from the school, goes down North Avenue, goes across Dayton to Omo, back up Omo to Center and across Center. There's going to be a troop at Omo and Dayton on a motor. When he clears from that, hopefully, according to the lieutenant, I should be able to get him to come up to Omo and Center. So we got the runners that are clear, and then once we shut that down, we can move it up to the schools and then shut down Armada Center. As far as the crossover, as I understand it, that's what we will be doing is the crossover at the Orchard Trail in Fulton.
Will that be a rolling, like or what has happened before in your last run? The rolling, what's that called?
Will you block the traffic as people go across?
As people come, so you're not blocking traffic the whole
Yes.
time on the Fulton.
But
The
the
only-
runners
the only-
do have the right of way.
The only difference with this is because of the size and the nature of it. When we've done it in the past, we've used the for the 5Ks. We've used the village officer on duty. This we're going to have to bring in 4 dedicated officers to work just this event, and they will have to be down there, and they'll have to manage their own relief and and handle the runners as they come.
Chief, why do you think you need 4? For just the Fulton?
Burke, Spencer, Fulton to begin with, and then we're going to need an officer for down at the crossover. Then once we're able to get the runners that are southbound, once we're able to close down Armada Center a little tighter, we should be able to free up an officer so that we have 2 officers down, for the crossing as the runners come to the Orchard Trail in Fulton.
Did you say they were going to go to Omo, our officers? The race will be Omo, right? You
Pardon
said
me?
MSP was going to circle back, and I thought you mentioned Omo.
They are going to have to shut down because they take the trail, they run all the way to Omo, they turn northbound on Omo, come up Omo to Center, and then turn they turn back to westbound on Armada Center. So they've also got the fire departments involved. So exactly which cops, which firefighters are going to be out there doing that, I don't know. Our concern is our village.
But we're not going to Omo, the village police.
I can tell you with 90% certainty we won't be out on Omo, but with an event like this, and it is, I have had the opportunity to talk to Captain Baker from the Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Gonzalez from Michigan State Police. It is a situation of mutual aid. We are all working in conjunction, so yeah, if you happen to see one of our cars out there, that could be because there's an MSP in the village helping us. It's one hand washes the other.
One more question for the chief, if you don't mind. Can we handle an event this big in the village? From what you've been presented, I mean, I didn't realize the extent of this. And
I figure if we handle the fair, yeah, we can handle this.
Yeah.
The small sliver of the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the runners are pretty efficient. They know where they're going to go. They study the course. They'll take the shortest route, so we map it so it's the shortest route, anticipating that that's what they're going to do. The sheriff is very well versed in these running events, and with the race in Mount Clemens, they would bring out 130 officers to close all those streets, and that was just a half marathon. So we've been at it for a little bit. It should run very, very smooth.
Now, being in May, right around, we do kind of still come upon some inclement weather. What are your plans on dealing with that?
Unless it's extreme danger, these runners will run. So they're here, they're coming in. If it's raining out or something, that's not going to stop
No,
them.
I'm not worried about them.
Yeah,
We're worried about ice.
Yeah. Well, May 10th, we should be in pretty good shape on May 10th. So we studied that extensively when we built the race for Mount Clemens, and that's why we chose the last Saturday in April. This is 2 weeks after that, and you'll find that these runners have a schedule, a training schedule that they adhere to. So the timing of this is perfect, but we should be in very good shape weather-wise.
But these are dirt roads too, though.
Portions,
They are
yes.
different.
Yeah, there are portions of these roads are dirt, that is true. But the runners, most of these runners were former cross-country runners in high school. They're just going to tear it up no matter what the conditions are.
Okay.
Do you have them sign indemnity forms with you?
It's built into our registration form online with a waiver. Yeah.
And is the registration form through you or through Board and Bike or who?
USA Track and Field has standard language that we follow so that it adheres to the insurance that they're providing for a sanctioned event as well. So it's all pretty much that language that we can incorporate.
Chief, maybe you can answer this, that them signing that indemnity with them would not indemnify the village, though, would it?
I don't know, I haven't read their indemnity form, but I think that's the bottom line or the question is the indemnification form also indemnify the communities that they're running through?
Yes, the insurance coverage through USA Track and Field will provide coverage to the village.
Yeah, which I have.
Yes.
I have that, but my fear is, coverage is one thing, but, suing's another. They can easily, sue you first and somebody else secondary, being any of the municipalities. So that's my concern. But
I believe when Board and Bike did their own event, we were listed on the bottom of that.
We
form.
are.
Listed right on.
Yes.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Okay.
So we just want to make sure we are on this one.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
are.
Yes.
I
Oh, okay.
they very carefully.
Yeah, USA
What's the
Track and
direction?
Field, they close more roads and insure more races than any other entity in the country. So they're there at the Detroit Free Press Marathon, 22,000 runners come in every year. They really have a very nice turnkey system, so we adhere to that. You know, we've been offered the opportunity to buy outside insurance coverage, and I refuse to do it because I stay with the platform and the package that's provided by USA Track and Field. I don't want to deviate in any way, shape, or form, and it's also pretty cost effective as well.
Okay. That was my only concern.
Were you prepared for charges for the police that we would be incurring here in the village?
You know, it's an economic reality, so that is part of what we have to encounter in some cases is charges. If we understand that this is a fundraiser, obviously, for Armada Board and Bike to build a skateboard park, I would certainly hope that you take that into consideration. But if we do have to charge, we are prepared for that.
Okay. And payment would have to be before the event, I do believe.
If I can speak to this just so that the council is aware, talk to the Michigan State Police. Michigan State Police is not going to charge them. They're going to have 9 troopers out here. They're not going to charge them for this first event because they're not sure of what the impact's going to be. Talk to the Macomb County Sheriff. The sheriff is going to charge for the deputies that are participating, but he's going to do their best to fill it with reserves.
Which will be your agenda as well, to fill it in with part-time workers?
We don't have much choice with
Right.
that.
So you're not signing up to do it then, right, Chief?
But I'm sure that I will be here.
Any other questions? Yes.
How many runners do you expect to come through town?
You'll see on this event, first year event, we've got a pretty good track record. I'll say between 2,000 and 3,000 runners.
Overall of the races, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then have you let any of the businesses in town know about this yet? Because they
No,
would
not-
probably really like a heads up to make sure they're fully staffed.
Yeah, not too much. I mean, we don't want to get the wagon in front of the horse. We want to follow
Right.
proper protocol, make sure we get everything through City Hall. And there's quite a bit of approval. We've been on the road for about 2 months, you know, working with, various members of law enforcement. For the state police, we drove to Taylor and worked with Lieutenant Gonzalez. So it takes time to do all that. So tonight is actually the final approval process. We've been approved to park at Armada Fairgrounds. We're waiting on a final price to come from the high school, but with your endorsement here this evening or your approval to run this race here, I think we're ready to promote.
So the businesses in town will know
Yes,
about it?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's basically my
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
And even letting the residents know, somehow maybe getting it into the paper or whatnot.
We also do a mailer.
Okay, that's great, because, I mean, if I'm gonna leave to go north out of town, you know, I might not wanna cut it close if I have an appointment at
Well, we
X
could
time.
maybe put that on a water bill,
Yeah.
depending on
Well,
what.
Because it's such a major
goes
issue.
out.
Yeah, and I think that the correct thing to do would be for us to notify all of our residents that this was going to occur, advise them about the shutdown. You know, we shut down Armada Center. They still have Main Street, they still have Dayton. You know, they can, in the 5K shouldn't take, 20 minutes, half hour?
Get done in an hour at the most.
So they should be able to navigate Omo through the one lane. They should be able to, you know, to get back and forth, but we do need to communicate that out to the residents as we get closer.
Well, we can put it on the website, we could put it in water bills, put notices out.
Can I ask exactly where the kids are gonna be running at, the little ones at 10
Yes.
o'clock?
Yeah, we had said that the starting line will be the right of the parking lot in the high school. There's big driveways that go around the high school. Taking them north of the high school across the back parking lot and a lap around the track.
Oh, okay.
Exit to the west side of the high school, across Armada Center, and finish in front of the elementary school. Almost right dead center in the middle of the elementary
So
school.
that race is all contained right there, so we don't have to
Correct.
worry about the kids and the.
That's right. Get them off the roads as quickly as possible, and it's between the points where we're closing Armada Center.
Did you know that there's a track behind the elementary school?
I
It's a
did,
3rd mile
yes.
track, okay.
Yep.
Because there's a running program at the elementary school where it's called
Tiger
Tiger
Track.
Track.
Yeah,
Tiger
yeah, we
Track.
looked at that. It's
I'm sorry, but there is a third of a mile track.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm just a little fearful it might not be wide enough, because what we do at the race in Mount Clemens, we allow parents to run with their children if they want to. We don't charge the parents. They just have to wear a chaperone bib and sign a waiver, and they can actually run with their kids. So it's a nice little family event, but we ended up with about 400 people, running that race. So it's takes a pretty good, sized lane to get them all through there. And of course, you got little kids there. We don't want them to get trampled or anything like that. But so space is good for the kids and families.
Chief, did you have a cost in mind for this event? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
No, that's not a problem. We actually, Treasurer Adair, Clerk Polis, we were talking about it today. We talked some numbers, but before we pass on a number to Mr. Gray, we'll have to decide exactly, how you want to do it, how the council wants to do it, and determine how sharp you want to sharpen the pencils.
Okay.
We have some time for that.
Well, my opinion is if the state police is gonna offer their services, this is one time, and it's a first event.
Right.
Especially since it takes care of Armada Board.
Right, and take the first event, and that's it. We don't name a second event, okay? I think we should go with it.
We just have to be mindful of that at the year end when it comes to Chief's budget too.
Chief will remind everybody of that.
I'm sure you will.
It's your budget,
Well, there's other things too, maybe we can consider, but I think the first event, and that would be spelled out right now as such, so it's covered, and, we make money at the fair, that's no secret. So, and the thing is, the others will fall in line, I feel.
Any other discussion from council? Okay, everyone has a motion in front of them?
Please put at the end of that, I didn't realize the center road was gonna be utilized also, so, to cross Fulton Street and for the use of Armada Center Road. I guess that's how we can just put it at the end.
In fact, let me say too that living here all my life and being the fair time, no offense, we've offered a lot of police services over the years to them free. So, I don't think it should be questioned. Yes, and eventually they started giving little gifts, to the department. And so I think that suffices, more than suffices.
Okay.
Well, if you're gonna wanna add that in, just add that in at the end of the motion.
Do you have an exact date for the run yet?
May 10th.
Oh, it is
Yep,
10th.
it's the Saturday before Mother's Day
Oh,
with a post-race
I know
party
it.
at Blake's.
I'm sorry?
It's the Saturday before Mother's Day, and the post-race party is at Blake's, the new winery.
Oh, the new winery.
Yes.
So what are we taking for a deposit?
Well,
That's what I'm just
I
confused
just
about.
think Marvin said that he didn't want to charge, so.
for this
Mark
year.
said that was the fair though.
No.
No, he was
Okay.
saying
I did
it
not
means
It's
say
for
that.
this, because
Oh,
it's the
no,
first event.
But we're
first
saying that
event.
we may charge in the future for this event in the future, but this year we're gonna do it free because we're
Is
not
that
quite
gonna
sure.
go into motion, Madam President, or are you gonna make sure it's in the minutes at least?
Well, I think if you're gonna, I think it should be in the motion if that's how you feel.
Okay.
That would probably be, very,
Yeah, we normally set that in the motion when we do it.
Yeah. I mean, you could just put at the end and to, for use of Center Road, at no cost for police services provided or something for this first time event, or
For the year 2014.
there,
You're welcome.
so.
And everything else on this checklist has been turned in?
Yeah, I know the insurance wasn't marked, that was because that just came. So when I did the agenda statement, I didn't have it, but I do have it now.
Madam President, I'll move to approve the application from Armada Board and Bike for a special event permit on May 10th, 2013 to allow the Weekend Warrior Marathon to cross Fulton Street for the use of Center Road at no cost for police for the year, or excuse me, for police services for the year 2014.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Wallach. Any other discussion?
Hold on a second, you said for 2014.
That's
It's
right,
not-
that's
yeah,
May.
May, it's
Yeah.
2014.
May
That's it.
2014.
Okay, but if they do more than one event in the year,
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding the motion properly.
Well, this is the date, May 10th.
Oh, it's
Okay.
2000, did you say
I
2013 or
said
14?
2014.
Hey, stuff happens.
And we were gonna offer it at no charge for May 10th, 2013, but not 14. I wanna make sure that's clear.
And the time on that, sir, is again 8 a.m. to what?
Yes, 8 o'clock, shotgun start, all roads, we tell all the runners they must be off of the roads by 2 o'clock, and we should be done in front of the high school by 4.
You can if you want, I don't think
Madam President, I'm sorry, two things. I still don't see where it specifically says this event. Oh, because it's the May,
May
10th.
2014.
Special event permit, we are approving the
Okay.
permit
May,
of,
why don't, it doesn't say May 10th, it says May, okay.
yeah.
We,
And
Can
then
you
Yeah.
just tell everybody that?
Change it
again?
to 2014.
May 10th.
May 10th, 2014. That's what
Right.
I read.
That's right.
Okay.
I agree with you.
can it be in the minutes, please, that it was because we did a no charge because it was the first event? Can you make sure that enters the minutes? And, just making sure that we are indemnified. Somehow we need to follow up with that, just to make sure.
Okay.
Because we did that, we required the other groups to do it. We can't,
We
just.
can't pass on this.
Right, but I'm saying we really made sure that we were indemnified as a local government, and we just wanted to make sure that if it means Jeff has to just do a quick look over, or if,
I
I
can
don't know who
verify, I
can do
can
it, but we just
verify.
need to make sure.
Well, she said she already had the insurance papers, but that's a good thing to.
Right. But I still want to,
As a line item.
all groups have to do it, and we need to be
Can I
consistent.
get a copy of your registration form? Can you email that to me?
It's being designed,
Is it?
so as soon as this
As
is
soon as
completed,
it's
yes.
done, can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, can you do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Madam President, I'll call the question.
Do you have specific language you'd like to incorporate in the registration?
No, because it's gonna be for everybody. I would tell you, yeah, put Armada Villages indemnified, but you've got too many other communities you're going through, so that's, I mean,
We usually string them together at the bottom.
Yeah.
Probably always spelled out.
okay.
You'd probably have one from the board and bike, if you happen to have a copy of the old,
The old one.
yeah, just to see kind of what our attorney already
Sure.
approved
Okay.
type thing,
I will
something
select
along
that.
those lines.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
And Mr.
Appreciate
Gray,
the support.
before you leave, I need you to just fix something on your application quickly. It's not a big deal. I know that the date is, because 2013 is on your date. So that- yeah. If you could just cross that out and put 14 and maybe initial right next to it.
Everybody wants to do it this year.
Everybody had it. I know that's the date, but I didn't want to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next agenda item is the annual presidential commission appointments. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, this is my agenda item. The first commission we're going to be discussing is the park commissioner. Mr. Audi has done a great job this year doing the concerts in the park. And last day festivities keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger for the kickoff or for the ending of the season. Is there anyone else that would be interested in taking the park commission?
Anyone?
Okay, with that, I would like to appoint Harry Audi as park commissioner. Can someone please read the motion?
Madam President, I resolve to appoint Harry Audi as the park commissioner for the village of Armada.
Motion by Mr. Ballard, is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Wallach. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. The next commission is police commissioner. Current commissioner is Mr. Marvin Wallach. He has had great communication and open communication with the chief and the officers, and he's also kept council informed of all the going on in the police department. Mr. Wallach, would you like to accept that again?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can someone please read the motion for me?
I'll resolve to appoint Marvin Wallach as police commissioner for the village of Armada.
Motion by Mr. Audi. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next one is Sewer Commissioner. Mr. Michael Sturritt is our current Sewer Commissioner. He's been doing a great job on the S2 grant, and he's had excellent communications with F&B operations personnel and keeping us informed of what's going on. Mr. Sturritt, would you
Yeah,
like to
that's
keep
fine.
that commission?
That's fine.
Okay, could someone please read the
I would
motion?
so resolve to appoint Michael Stern as sewer commissioner for the village of Armada.
Motion by Mr. Wallach. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Audi. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next one is Water Commissioner, Mr. Stephen Clark. He's been doing an awesome job of keeping the village residents, listening to all their concerns and helping them with their water bills. He also has a great knowledge of the road project and the water lines that we need for the upcoming East Main project. Mr. Clark, would you like to keep that commission?
Sure.
Okay, could someone please read the motion?
So move or resolve to appoint Stephen Clark as water commissioner for the village of Armada.
Motion by Mr. Wallach. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Audi. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. The next one is the President Pro Tem. Mr. Conan is not here, but I am sure that he will accept it again. He's always available when he's needed. He's always willing to step in case something happens to me and I can't make a meeting.
We know we can always mess with it, you know.
You can always mess with him. He's always willing to do that. Could someone please read the motion?
Madam President, I resolve to appoint David Conan as President Pro Tem for the village of Armada.
Motion by Mr. Ballard. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
I'll tell him that he got sewer commissioner.
There you go.
Calls, just so.
Just call him, tell him we got streets,
He's
just
gonna
tell him we
get
got streets and I took it.
Yeah, all right, yeah, everybody took it, yeah.
That's
Or the other.
great.
He doesn't want either of those, I'm sure.
Okay, next agenda item is designation of street administrator. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, village clerk, this is your agenda item.
Why is this mine?
Ah,
That's
that's
gotta
what
be
you
a
wrote.
mistake. Well, anyways, every year we have to appoint a street administrator. And last year it was Lyle. I'm sure that he's just chomping at the bit to stay street administrator, so I'm looking for a motion for that.
I would so move or resolve to adopt the resolution designating Lyle Ballard as a single street administrator for the village of Armada in all transactions of what the state transportation department is providing in section 13 of Public Act 51 of 1951 MCL 247.663.
Motion by Mr. Wallach. Is there a second?
This can die as lot of
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. He's afraid he'll get appointed.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All those
Cheryl,
in
do you
favor?
have the form for that?
Yep,
Okay, because I have
Do
to
we
be
have
sent
to roll
in
call on this one?
right away.
you can. You don't have to, but if you want
I
to.
thought for that paperwork that we have to do roll.
No, I can, we can do it.
Okay.
That's fine.
We do roll.
Wolof,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Sturritt,
Yes.
Cooper,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Baylor.
Epstein.
Motion
and Conan is
passes.
absent.
Cause off words.
Thank you. Okay, next agenda item is planning commission liaison appointment. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none, this is my agenda item. Mr. Audi, you have been planning commission liaison on there. Would you like to remain on that?
I think David Conan would love to serve.
Okay, I hear a motion for Mr. Conan. Are you gonna read it with Mr. Conan's name?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll resolve to appoint David Conan as member ex officio of the Village of Armada Planning Commission for a term ending November 24th, 2014.
motion by Mr. Audi. Is there a second?
I find it
Support.
extremely unfair.
Support by Mr. Ballard. Any other discussion?
That's not really fair. David's not here to accept or deny. I don't think it's really right to appoint him when he's not here.
Well,
That's
he's
my
no
opinion.
longer DDA and he has no commission.
That's fine.
May not be fair, but it's fun.
See what happens when you miss a meeting.
I'll teach him to
Dave.
come.
Any other discussion?
I'll take it next year.
I would think that we should probably wait and just.
We can
table it.
always reappoint. Any other discussion?
Joe, I'm taking this out of your packet.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carried.
So this was Audie Ballard.
Yes.
Yep.
Next agenda item is the update of the MDOT meeting. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? Hearing none. Mr. Ballard, this is your agenda item.
Thank you. On November 13th at 10 o'clock, I drove down to 21 Mile and Gratiot down there and met with MDOT. I met with Drew Buckner and the whole group of people from all the other communities. There's five or six other communities, wasn't there, Andy? Andy was with me. Yeah, there's about 5 or 6 other communities down there. And basically what this was, is they wanted to know what our projects were for the upcoming years. So I used our list of our 5-year roads that we have to do, and I reported to them what was done. And I told them that East Main Street was coming up, and they wanted to know if we were gonna have to reroute traffic. And I said, well, for East Main Street, absolutely, we're gonna have to reroute it. And Bob Hefner from the Macomb County Roads Commission was there.
Engineer.
Yeah, he's the engineer, Macomb County Department of Roads. And he says, well, where are you gonna send them? I said, well, we're gonna send them right up North Avenue to Center Road, and Center Road across for through traffic. I says, and then the other traffic will be able to get on from our side streets, you know, they go up to Center Road, down Burke Street, they go down the other street to Spencer Street and over in Third Prospect like that. They'll be fine over there. He said, oh, okay, real good. He says, sounds like you got a handle on it. I says, well, wait a minute, Bob, we're gonna need some help with this, all right? I said, so can we call on you? Well, he never did give me a direct answer, of course, they never do. But I believe that in our bidding documents, we do have barricading and things like that, and traffic control and like that. So I figured that I'd open my mouth without talking to Howard, and then I'd tell Howard what I did, or the chief of police what I did, and he'd probably get mad at me, but that's all right. But I figured it was just common sense what I was doing, so anyway, so that's all it was. And after the first of the year, I have a meeting scheduled with Drew Buckner, the manager of the Transportation Service Center, on some different things, so I can more understand the funding of MDOT. And, you know, they claim it takes a Philadelphia lawyer to understand that, but I'm not that. So, but anyway, that's all my report.
Kyle, are we back on track for doing it in 14?
They didn't say no.
Okay.
Okay, they didn't say yes. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be talking with him after first year.
Hopefully not May 10th.
Exactly. No, we're not doing it again. Well, really, it's East Main Street, so it's not going to bother.
Did we have a
Yes.
tentative date as starting?
Yes, yeah, we had
Yeah, I didn't have that.
We had said spring of
Yes, you do.
2015 for the
yeah, spring of 2015 in the construction. So that's what we're looking, Marv. So I think we're going to be all right. And if that, if that will fall in 2015, depending on the funding, we've got to go with the money. And so I'm sure that our budgets are going to be ready for our 20%. It's just is MDOT going to be ready with theirs? That's my concern right there.
They talk about money at all?
No, they did not talk about money at all, not at all. So I said, okay, well, that's why I'm gonna go down there and talk with Mr. Buckner on money and see how that works. Maybe he's gonna say, well, I can't give you that answer, you have to go here and go there, at least I'll know where to go then.
Lyle, you mentioned that traffic was gonna cut through the subdivisions on the backside. If East Main's closed,
Yeah. Well, it's gonna block the traffic. Okay, that's gonna be coming, that's gonna be using that.
You're not gonna use it as a cut through to come out by the church if you're down by the depot?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna say, if semis
that's-
start going back there, the roads are not really
No,
meant for a lot of
they're-
semi-traffic.
no.
Wouldn't you go Spencer to Center to Omo? No?
I wouldn't, I would use, if northbound traffic, I'd send them across 34 to Homo.
Sure.
Southbound traffic, I'd send them across Center to Homo that wanna go
Yeah.
east. But that's just me. Normally
Who
they'll
would
just
be the
pick,
traffic control officer?
But it shouldn't, it should not be overly congested. I'm not too worried about that, particularly with the Weekend Warrior run. I'm just, more concerned that we get it done, has to be done by fair. We can't deal with that for fair. And the only other thing that I heard in back to Trustee Clark's question, I heard next year, and Andy said 2015. So, I guess, the sooner the better. We've had it on the plans, but either way, whether it's the fair in 2014 or the fair in 2015, we got to shoot to have this whole thing done by August 1st. So
I believe construction will start in spring, so it should be done by then.
Yeah.
So for us, I think the more difficult part is the bus routes.
does
because-
anybody remember North Fulton? We were promised,
Right.
for sure by August 1st, and we were scrambling.
To be done back there.
The 13th of August, I
Yeah.
remember that. But
What was our time frame, Andy, on this plan roughly, to start and finish? 2 months, 3 months, or anything like that? I forget.
I don't think we really put together
There
a
was no,
specific
We-
I don't
timeline.
think
No,
we
the-
were
The
there yet.
plans haven't been fully developed yet. We're still in that stage to get the engineer to draw up the plans.
You'll be on top of us with your timetable as soon as you have it though, right? Okay. Because we do have bus route, it's an active road
But plus you
period.
have Armada rubber right out there, they've got, their
Mm.
trucks go through.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Any upcoming agenda items?
I'm gonna have a CDBG meeting next week that Joe and I are going to. Our money is coming in next year, so I'm looking for ideas from anyone on how we can spend it.
Did you remind?
I did, those I don't, we'll talk about that, but no, I don't think that'll work. Ideas, please.
Sherry, I don't know if we need a do-over. I think I was supposed to resign from planning before we appointed Dave. That was in my meeting
Yes.
packet.
I thought it was just a one-year term.
didn't this
By the way,
term
we
run
have
out?
him resi-
Or does it?
Commission
I
will
don't think we
expire.
put an end, did we put an expiration on it?
I thought there
When
was.
you,
Oh.
when you do the appointments.
Right.
Oh, okay, we're
All
good
right,
then.
then you're good.
Cool.
Sorry, Gary.
Okay. Any other upcoming agenda items? Hearing none. Any citizen comments? Any citizen comments? Hearing none. Any council comments? Hearing none. Community events? Do you have any village rep?
That's not until next year.
Oh, okay.
That, they sent me that.
And holidays and a lighted Christmas parade on
Yes.
December
December
7th.
7th. Yep. Any other community events? Can you think of any, Chief?
Thanksgiving.
No, Goodfellows paper is gonna be out for sale pretty soon. For the
Couple
Lions.
weeks.
Is it? Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, the candy cane drive for the Lionesses is coming up too.
Well, yeah, I can go get the calendar, but we pretty much, I think in December, we
Every
pretty much
weekend,
have
yes, something.
somebody on four
Yeah.
corners virtually
Every weekend.
every
Yep.
weekend.
Okay. We have no closed session tonight. The time is now,
Oh, we should have a closed session at next meeting.
okay. Oh,
Tell everybody.
oh, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
You could say it, Mike.
That's what I said.
I kept giving you hints.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. The time is now 7:49. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No, I got 7:50.
7:50 now.
7:52.
Okay. 7:52.
I'm sorry, was that you?
Motion by Mr. Wallach. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Clark. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.